Video stops being too damn loud, but we'll see how that works.
We'll find out.
Yeah, boy. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Sadly not.
Oh. Well, we got murder, your readiness, make you more ready, step on your soul. Alright, sounds like we're good. Hello and welcome, dear patrons, to the Tables of Tartarus, a chapter of Purgatory Corner. I am your storyteller, Sinspeaks, and today we shall be continuing the tale of Shifting Fates. Come on in, take a seat, and let your imagination run free. As always, if you guys want to support this channel or see some of our other content, feel free to go over to our socials. You guys see our website where we post our fanfictions and our general writings. You guys can also see our Patreon and our various YouTube channels for our VODs and our various other content if you guys are interested. We'll be having a very large shift to things here either at the end of this month or beginning of next month, probably more like the beginning of next month, where we're just going to be changing things up. So feel free to check out our Discord so we can feel free to give you guys the most up-to-date knowledge on that. And then this is going to be our semi-final episode of Shifting before on hiatus. So we're going to be doing a sweet little hiatus, give us time for me to move, for me to do all that fun stuff, and really kind of get back into mindset of this once we get back into it. Hi, Pocket. So feel free to tune in, sit back, relax, and we're going to see the absolute fucking insanity that is called Bill. So last episode, if you guys remember correctly, you guys mostly were just kind of talking to one another. You guys more or less succeeded on stealing a coin, which turns out to be a incredibly valuable object of an incredibly dangerous nature, which almost killed Averin. At least she thinks it did. And you kind of interacted with an elder being of sorts. But you stole from Tommy. You guys interacted with one another. Oliver started working on his cure a little bit more. Did you guys do anything else? Anything else you guys remember?
I got stabbed.
You did get stabbed. That's true. Oh yeah, you guys found out that Averin is indeed a full-blooded true elf. So that was interesting. I don't think anything else happened.
No, that's about it.
Cool, cool.
Because we met with Marigold to catch up with her and talk about what's been going on, so.
Okay. So that's what your group has been doing. Bill, you have been very calmly and smoothly making your way downtown, walking past, faces past, and all that fun stuff. But you eventually get to the Citadel. You eventually get to that general area. You've been here a couple of times now, so you know the road fairly well. You know the directions down. It's still in complete lockdown, so I'm assuming you just use the magical powers of your hat in order to get through that little escapade of sorts.
Hold on.
Because I think you kept your hat, but you put down your coat.
Yeah, I put down the coat.
Mm-hmm.
But I have the hat, so probably not actually. But Bill would just jump the wall. He's literally 2'2".
That's
and
fair.
Like the least threatening creature out there to most normal creature. To people that don't know him, at least. To everyone he knows, I'm pretty sure they all think he's a psychopath of some kind.
That's fair.
But he would just find his way up the wall and then just jump down.
Okay.
And when he jumps down, just... Where is it? Where's Featherfall? There it is. Just Featherfall his way down.
Fair enough. Alright, so you do Featherfall, you manage to make your way past the guards and stuff who really don't even notice your existence. You are not the most stealthy creature in the world, but they aren't caring about your existence.
I have a +5 in stealth.
You are one of the more stealthy people. So yeah, they don't really notice your existence as you pretty much scale the miniature wall that they created, squeeze your way through, and then hop down the other side. and land nicely. And yeah, I'm assuming you're just going to look for your companions. They did say they were in the in the slums somewhere. So most likely they would be either at Tommy's or they would be in the camp that you guys had seen before, directly above the giant pit where Mrs. Claus was and where Marigold is.
I mean, he's just gonna go to Tommy's bar. He's also got a restock, so.
Ah, true. Okay.
And
So you head
given
on.
companions, probably figured they'd be there.
That's fair. Okay, so Caglet, no. Helios, Citadel, the Slums, Citadel Tavern. Activate. Alright, so you head on your way to Tommy's Tavern. Do I have to take away anyone? I do. There we go. As you head on to Tommy's Tavern, it is a ruckus of of sound. It's just everyone drinking, is significantly more patrons than you've seen in the bar previously, and just everyone is just having a good time, yelling. He seems to be frantically looking about for something, but is constantly being taken back to pulling out drinks, pulling out food, stuff like that. So as you walk in, it's just a mass amount of sound that you just get blasted with.
Tommy, hey! Hey, Bill just clamps up the thing. Hey.
Tommy looks over, it looks at you, and it's just like, what? That? Fucking ale, Teos. You see like two people constantly going back and forth between the bar and the main area, delivering food and drinks and stuff like that. He's like, what? Can't you see I'm busy? Where are your friends? Aren't you usually come here with your friends?
Oh, I was separated from them because I was dealing with the dragon.
Oh. Okay. Not gonna ask about that. What do you need?
Refill on all the cheap booze for Molotovs.
Oh, he kind of like looks around the area and he just kind of like snaps his fingers a bit, and you see this dwarf kind of climb over the bar and look up at me. He's like, go get the barrel of the shitty alcohol. I'm busy. Go get some. And so the dwarf just kind of heads back into the back rooms and wheels out a like legitimate like massive barrel, which is clearly filled with pretty much just like beer. The equivalent to beer, essentially, as he slams it down. And Tommy looks and he's like, go nuts. Other shit to do.
Okay, you look panic. What's up?
Oh, I'm fucking... I must have misplaced a coin or something. I just got a lot to deal with here. I got like 4 people who are helping me, and there's like so many people at the bar. It's not usually this crowded. It's a lot on my plate right now. Nothing to worry about.
Fair enough. Bill's just gonna grab the barrel and try to shove it into his bag of holding.
I thought you liked your bag of holding, though.
I actually don't know dimensions of a barrel.
Bill took his bag of holding. He left his big bag with very specific items in it.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. So it's about 22 inches. It's the diameter of the head. I don't know what that means exactly. Bag of holding dimensions. How big can a fucking bag of holding open up to? Interior, blah, blah, blah. Roughly 2 feet in diameter at the mouth and 4 feet deep. What? Okay. Cool.
I don't think the depth is particularly necessary, considering
I don't think
basically
depth is
there's a
necessary.
portal to another dimension.
I don't know how big it can open is the problem. Oh, it's roughly 2 feet diameter.
I mean, Sin, we got a dragon skeleton into that thing.
That's true. That's true. Diameter of the head is 22 inches.
I don't think it matters much.
That's fair. So you are actually able to get in to a thing. It takes a lot of convincing for this barrel to get in there. It takes a lot of squeezing and movement, and honestly you're not entirely sure if barrels are supposed to move like that, but you do manage to get in at some point, just kind of stretching it and pushing it and kicking it and desperately hoping beyond hope that your tiny body can push it in until eventually it does in fact go in. And honestly, the dwarf who was next to you was just staring at you in mild confusion and possibly slight terror.
And Bill's just gonna, you know where they went?
Tommy just kind of pipes up and he's like, no idea, but they went outside the doors, so walk around, I guess, ask around, see if someone's found your team. Really, anyone can find them.
Okay, I'll start yelling. As Bill just jumps down, grabs his bag like, that barrel made it heavy. Just starts waddling off. Oh, by the way, don't drink the water.
What the fuck is wrong with this town?
As Bill just waddles out the door, and
Yeah, it just kind of goes back to what he was doing. It has been about 5 days, I believe, is how many unstable alchemies we had Oliver roll.
I think
So it
I read
has
4.
4 days? Okay, it has been about 4 days. And so this is just him doing his normal stuff. But you essentially head outside. It is exactly as you remember and just as depressing, though there are less people out here than you're used to. It seems like the slums have gotten, for lack of a better word, quieter.
just a few more days. Okay. Hey! Hey! Hey!
Would any of you be wandering about at this time?
I think I'd mostly be quarantining myself to my room, honestly.
I don't think they'd let me.
I
That's a fair point.
Ellie would have checked on Averin until she fell asleep and then be wandering about.
Okay.
You can always roll perception to see whoever hears him first.
Yeah,
I'll
because
have-
he's just wandering around just yelling.
I'll have you roll perception, Ellie. Because you'll be wandering a little bit.
Nope. Jackson is snoring because he's drunk.
I love the idea that, like, you decide to walk outside at one point or another, and Jackson decided to walk with you, and you both somehow managed to walk into, like, a parallel section of the area to where Bill is, but then Jackson got drunk off his rocker at one point or another, since you guys can't go in Tommy's and you're just waiting. So as he starts to yell and scream, you're just holding Jackson as he's slurring words into your ears, you're dragging him back to home, and you can't hear anything beyond Jackson just telling you random sweet nothings like pillows are made of fluff.
That's definitely not sweet nothings, but okay.
Look, he's drunk.
Pillows are pretty sweet.
Ollie, see if you can hear him through the window.
Yeah, that'll work. Ollie.
Okay. Where is my perception? Here we
Watch
go.
this in nat 20.
That'd be beautiful. That motherfucker.
Are you serious?
You called
Oh
that
my
shit so
gosh.
hard.
Oh my gosh.
God damn, the chances of this shit today. All right.
Technically,
I don't know
it's
what
5%.
this means
I
for
guess
the
it's
for this
5% for each
episode,
roll.
but it's gonna be interesting. So you're working on whatever it is that you're working on at this point in time, probably continuing the cure, doing your unstable alchemy, all that other fun stuff. You're working on it, and you just hear, with the window slightly cracked, Bill shouting.
Oh, Paylor. Just look out the window to see if I can see him.
Yep. Bill, I'm assuming you're just walking and yelling.
Yeah, he's waddling along, hands up, mouth agape, yelling.
Yeah, you just stick your head out, you see him just slowly walking the street, just constantly yelling, "Hey! Hey!"
Ollie! Ellie!
I'm up. We're up here. Well, I'm up here at the very least. Where were you?
Dragon? I left a note!
You left a note that said to meet you here. You didn't tell us what you were doing.
Oops. That's my bad!
Above game, he was ignoring our sending stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Technically, we sent him a sending stone and asked him what Harry was and if he was okay. And he just simply told us to meet him here as well on that.
I thought he did say dragon.
I think he said at talking to a dragon. I'm fine. I'll meet you there.
I don't remember the talking to a dragon part, but
Pretty sure I said that.
maybe I am just being stupid. Maybe I am just being stupid. I
Very
probably
good.
am.
It took been a few weeks since then.
It's possible Oliver might not know that. But yeah.
Oliver
That
was
ain't-
the one that messaged him.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Never mind. That's me being dumb.
Yeah. And
Either way.
answer your question as to where everyone else is. Ellie, he's on a walk, brought Jackson along, and Averin is still up here, more or less mid-recovery.
What do you mean mid-recovery?
She got stabbed the other day, and we're currently trying to tend to the injury. She's stable enough to guarantee she'll survive, but I'd rather not have her going out there and God forbid get stabbed again or rip the injury wider.
Okay, we probably shouldn't be yelling this down at the street. How do I get up to you? There's a few buildings kind of in the way. It's all kind of stacked on top of each other. How do I just climb?
Hold on a sec. I'm just gonna look through I'm actually above game looking through my inventory right now.
Honestly, he could probably just climb. These things are built in a way that climbing is not too hard.
I have a rope I could probably throw. I was just trying to decide if I probably didn't have the insight to make an elixir of flight.
You would probably be able to throw the rope, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going. I say, give me a minute. I've got my rope up here. Toss 50 feet of rope out the window.
It just goes on top of the roofs and the windows, just as it just slaps on the windows and the walls and just slowly unfurls down to Bill.
Cool. So he just climbs up. Yeah. Nope. Yep. Hi.
So, did all things go well? I'm back there. I hope.
Yeah.
Honestly,
The Trail of Tears is a no-go place right now.
yeah. Sounds like I'm certain you could tell the Citadel's not exactly doing great right now either.
No, it's quiet. At least from a visual perspective.
I remember when I gave the treatment and method to Tommy. I think it was Tommy. Wasn't it Tommy above game?
You gave one to Tommy, and then you gave one to Rowena's friend as well.
Oh, I just meant the formula, not necessarily the actual treatment.
Oh, yeah, you gave that to Tommy. Or you gave one of them to Tommy.
Yeah, either her Tommy, he's been a bit busy to work on this sort of thing, or we're not quite in the position of. I guess they did make the comment that there's not really any alchemists down here.
I mean,
bottom line.
What's his face with the weird sickle?
Yeah,
Does
he only just recently came up here, apparently.
Interesting. Oh,
You're not
by the
sure
way,
where he went.
Huh. Oh, Tommy's is really busy though. It's weird. Oh, he's also panicking because he's missing a coin.
Yeah, don't tell him about that, but Averin decided to walk off with it, whispering to him.
Is that why she got stabbed?
Ironically, no. From the sounds of things, the stabbing was just random passerby. Can't say no what happened beyond that. I'll have to ask her.
You would be awake at this point, Averin, by the way.
Oh,
Well,
Bill. How are
sad.
you doing?
Not dead, surprisingly.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, because no one else was there. The dragon didn't have anything to bargain with this time, so he was a lot more cooperative.
Ah.
It's kind of why I went alone. Last time didn't go so well. I figured without other people there, it would go better.
Fair enough.
Am happy, kind of a head cock. Kind of happy that I'm right, kind of sad I'm right. It's complicated. Kind of had a panic attack on the way there. It was not a good day. Not a good day. But I'm happy to report that the Trail of Tears is unusable for multiple reasons past Dragon.
What
Okay.
are the others?
Spirits being visible.
Oh
Hmm?
no.
So if the elves go that way, they're just going to see a giant dragon tail and a dragon and their dead comrades, family members, etc. That, well, for the half elves, their spirits being visible and not very happy.
The best I can really claim that I've accomplished in the time you've been gone is got most of the way through to making a counter illness. Only problem is it's still only a testing phase thing. Still need a couple days to finish that much.
Well, I'm happy to report that it's not my doing. The spirit stuff, that's my old man's doing. It kind of cocks us again. No, that doesn't sound right. It's Odin's doing.
Wait,
He,
I don't know what his name is. I just called him Buddy.
I call him Odin. He really doesn't have a name. I call him Odin because he's grumpy. And he made a joke one time about a man with one eye called Odin, and so I started calling him that as a mock, and it kind of just stuck. He doesn't fight new nicknames. I think he's got a lot.
do I want to know how your mentor pulled this off?
Yeah, spirit stuff that people don't like hearing about.
I just figured that they were
Plus,
just
he's
got vengeful.
they're vengeful, but something's keeping them from going that far. Whether it's themselves or circumstantial, some of their mentality keeps them back. Stuff like that. But he's making them visible. To be fair, he's pretty strong. He's just tired, which I can kind of understand. So what's with stealing the coin?
Oh, I think it's one of the apocalyptic items that you guys were talking about.
Sure, isn't it just a magical item?
No, because then when I stole it, it turned out it was sentient ? And some sort of entity in there wants to make deals, wants to make a deal with me, but I don't have anything to make a deal with it yet. So now I just have it. Doesn't have a name yet. I'm thinking about it.
Want to throw it into a barrel of booze until it gives you something for free?
Oh, I didn't think about that. Do
Bill
you think
just casually pulls out the barrel. It just empties the big barrel onto the ground in the room and just stares.
As you throw down the big barrel at the same time as the barrel hits the ground, the door pops open and you hear, "Oh, today's a good day. Are we home yet, Ellie?"
Jackson Xavier Gray, you get your ass back in here. You're going to get out of that room. The doctor is busy with stuff.
It's fine. He knows me. Bird. Hi, Bird.
Hi,
Bill?
Jackson.
What are you?
Hi.
Okay, Jackson, go
Bill.
sit down. I'm gonna strength check that man to the bed.
Okay. Is that a barrel of booze?
You're not touching the
Jackson
bruise.
Xavier Gray.
Xavier Gray.
I don't know why. I hear like the full name come out, and I could just in my head imagine the color from his face that isn't already there, just leaving the rest of it, what isn't left already.
Oh. Okay. He just kind of like turns and walks away, sits down on a couch. It's just like...
Such a big old baby.
He just fucking passes out immediately.
At least I didn't need to use my pry band. I am sorry, guys.
You're good.
sometimes becomes the most cuddliest freaking teddy bear when he's drunk. Sometimes though. But that's when the bartender tries to kill him. So
Well, it's all right. Do you want to watch us waterboard or perhaps booze board the coin?
yes.
Very good. We have an audience now.
Cool.
I love how
Let's
that
see if-
barely affects Ellie. Just like, oh yeah, booze.
Let's
She's
see if
the-
we can get a wish for free.
I mean, if you think about it, Ellie already knows that Rowena uses the communication device with wow,
Shar?
I just forgot her name. Shar, yes. With Shar in as an ice cube, so
That's fair. That's fair.
This is nothing new to her. The party abusing magical things.
God, just trying to waterboard ancient deities. Jesus Christ. Oh,
Everyone
so,
knows I prefer to get something for free through questionable means than give up my soul for questionable things.
Oh, before I forget, Averin, the red gem you were saying before they might keep on your person. Did you have it on your person the last couple of days?
I think I had it in the same bag as the coin.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I forget if you had a bag of holding or not.
I did. I bought it with my numerous amounts of platinum.
That's right. That's right. So I'm assuming it's not your bag of holding that you had that in.
I maybe. I think I had it in the. I think I had the majority of my valuable stuffs in the bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah.
You had the majority of your stuff in the bag of holding, and then specific other ones you decide to keep out of your bag of holding, which is usually stuff you use immediately, or have need of immediately. You know that the red gem is something that is relatively strong. So it depends on whether or not you would have that on your person, or somewhere that'd be much harder to get to.
I think I would have it on my person. You know, in case I
Okay.
need an explosion really quickly, immediately.
Fair enough. Let me check something real quick. Just
Mostly
took off
because
my
I want to know
glasses, so
what'll
good
happen.
job. I now have to like really throw my face at my phone. Where is it? I could just actually properly clean my glasses and then look at it, but I'm too lazy for that. So, there it is. Cool. Roll me a couple of wisdom saves.
Ooh, couple
A
of wisdom
couple?
saves.
Yeah, go with do one for right now.
Nat 1. Oh, nice.
Nice. Do a second one.
Nat 1. 3. Okay.
I mean,
okay.
that's good
three,
enough.
that's
And then roll me a
6.
third one.
Nice. Nat 20.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So it was really the last one that was the most important there. You will essentially regain whatever you've lost, so I'm not going to really tell you about that. So during the second night that you had this thing on you, the four nights technically would be the third night. The first night, nothing happened. Second night, nothing happened. The third night, you have very strange and unsettling visions. You're not really sure what these visions are about. They remind you of a little bit of the ring, actually. Or sorry, the coin. And it's just like very unpleasant thoughts. Things that are just haunting you. Whatever those might be, I'll leave that up to you. But it's just general things that just haunt your character. That just follow you around. And it's just very, very unpleasant and unsettling. And then the last day, today, nothing happens after you fell asleep. Yep. Just want to know that, so in case you were exhausted today, you were not, though, so. Yesterday's sleep was not good sleep. But today's sleep was good. Continue.
Fascinating. So anyways,
So, anyways.
back to waterboarding the coin.
Yeah. So, feel free to waterboard a god if you wish to.
Getting
As
wishes
Bill
from the
just
genie for
casually just-
free.
Pops the top of the lid of the barrel.
I take out the coin from my bag and kind of like flip it between my fingers stylishly before I just kind of drop it into the booze.
Yep. 'Cause Bill's also gonna just jump down after opening it and grab his stuff and re-equip his cloak.
Fair. So, yeah, it falls into the water. Jesus Christ.
What does that mean?
I hadn't
Did the
thought
coin
that
just
far.
have a nat 1?
Yeah.
Did
Was
the
that for
god
the coin?
did the god just become enamored with human and simple pleasures?
Oh, I hope the god doesn't attack us.
It's beautiful.
drunk
I love
manner.
it. But, nothing happens for a short period of time. You're just kind of staring at this barrel of booze as the coin sinks to the bottom, then slowly goes back to the top, then slowly sinks back down, and it just repeats this for like 5 minutes straight.
Magic
just-
8 ball, let's go.
Now, I may not be familiar with science or book smarts, but I feel like that's not how physics works.
I just feel like after a
Um,
minute of this, or 2 minutes of this happening, Bill would just pick a random stick and just push it down.
I just imagine all just like staring at it, just like, the heck is that thing made out of?
Are they
Ellie would just be
supposed to-
watching it. It's like, well, I hope Cadence is enjoying this.
You feel no response from the god inside of you except for the ever so slight most disappointing sigh that you can imagine. Just kind of waves through your head for a second. And then the beer, we just don't call it beer. Then the beer starts to bubble.
Uh-oh.
Is that supposed to?
I don't know.
No.
It starts off as a very small bubble, and then turns into a roiling boil. It's not boiling, it's not hot, but it's a royal boil. It's boiling hard. It is like as if you just took a bunch of bubbles and started spinning them at high speeds all the way throughout the beer. Oddly enough, it's not splashing any of the beer. It's just rolling it. As if the entire container is a washing machine.
Do you think
It's
if we
very
close the
strange.
container, the barrel will explode?
Do not give me ideas.
Or what if I want to give you ideas?
To be fair, I planned on using this to cause chaos in the Citadel to try to keep people here while we do our thing.
The lower sections are already in quarantine.
I'm
Nobody's
talking about
leaving down here.
I'm talking about the higher sections.
Fair.
If we take the coin out, but we keep the barrel, we could put the barrel in the Citadel, put the coin in, close the top, and then explode it all over the place.
And what
Just
is
a
that
thought?
supposed to do?
I don't know.
Mm.
After another minute or two, the boil just suddenly stops, and the coin floats back to the top, and the color of the beer is distinctly different. It no longer looks or smells like beer.
I'm
Uh,
not
Color
touching
is it?
that.
Should I drink some?
Heck no.
So
I can try it.
we should find Ezekiel.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I got this. Bill just pulls out a sending stone. Hey, Ezekiel! I think we just made beer out of a deity. Come to my location now.
You hear a reply in your head that goes, "You touched a god and made some beer? Even I haven't done that. Usually it's just their blood or other fluids. I'll be there in a jiffy, except I have no idea where you are. I'll
You'll
find
figure
you."
it out. Yeah, it'll be fine. As Bill puts down the sending stone, he just looks at the group. We have a guinea pig.
Ooh.
After about 10 minutes or so, you just hear the door slam open, which jerks Jackson awake for a second before his eyes roll back in his head and he just passes out again. You see Ezekiel standing there looking a little bit ragged, and he grabs his hat and he's like, alright, I heard someone touched a god in hopefully not unpleasant ways. I wish to see the booze,
I
the beer
mean,
god.
in this case, we might as well have.
Oh, what?
I mean,
Even I haven't done
he's
that. I mean,
he
gods
is a
do
safe-
touch. Huh?
Guys. Ellie,
Anyway.
what's the number?
What?
What's the number of the ones that have been touched by us? That sounds wrong.
Well.
Define
Um,
touched.
Yeah, define touched.
Look, I only carve open their veins a couple of times. What the fuck did you do to that beer?
We put a
There's-
coin in it.
Yeah.
Put coin? Why would you defile perfectly good beer with a coin? Don't tell me
It
that you
was-
threw one in there from the streets.
It was a
No.
god coin.
You threw a god coin in. Yeah. What is wrong with your group? Why do I keep asking that?
It was an I wanted to see if I could waterboard the coin god and then get wishes for free.
He looks at you with a face of a legitimately astounded person.
I haven't talked to the coin yet, so I don't know if it's dead or not.
You don't know whether or not the astoundment is a good thing or a bad thing, but he walks over, he looks at the coin, which has floated to the top, and he just goes, if I touch that, I will explode, so if you could just fish that coin out of there real quick.
Oh, sure.
I assume that talking to the coin means that it has an entity inside of it, and I'm distinctly forbidden to talk to other entities within magical objects, or else I will actually explode.
Again.
Your
Yeah.
god must get jealous easily.
No, he just wants to keep very good tabs on me.
What did you do?
Oh, I
Sounds
sold
great.
my soul. Anyways. Just kind of looks inside the barrel as you fish out the coin. The coin does not talk to you, by the way, after you fished out, and it feels kind of slimy. It's very unpleasant.
Kind of like rub it on my clothes to polish it a little bit. Kind of just feels gross.
Yeah. Feels a little bit better after you've gotten the massive quantity of whatever the crap inside the barrel is off of it. But he leans over, he takes a good whiff, he smells it, he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a mug. Why he has a mug in his pocket, honestly, who knows? And he dips inside, he swirls it around, he looks at it, and he just drinks the entire mug and throws it into a wall. Whew!
How's it taste?
Awful. It tastes like you guys threw a rusted coin in there. Honestly, very
Mm.
impressive. Didn't realize you could make beer taste worse. Whew, that is strong alcohol taste, though. Tastes like... Honestly, it tastes like a giant piss inside of a cup. You'd be surprised how alcoholic a giant piss is.
Mm.
Is that a good thing? I don't know how to rate alcohol.
Are you trying to get people drunk?
Sure.
Then yes, it'll work perfectly. Are you trying
Good.
to kill people?
Maybe.
It might work for those intentions.
Good.
Are you trying to horribly poison people?
Ooh, maybe.
It will absolutely work with that. I can feel the poison flowing through me now.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
the coin got mad and poisoned the booze.
Yeah, it looks like it. If I had to really guess, he reaches into his coat again and pulls out another mug before dipping in, just taking pretty much the entire mug down. if I had to guess, why the fuck am I holding a mug? And he throws it against the wall again. But every time he does this, Jackson like shoots upwards and then passes out again. He seems to be finding this entertaining, so he keeps doing it. He's like, you know, I would say
Okay,
that on a scale
we-
of...
Can we be nice to my poor dead man?
He's fine. I think.
Don't worry, I've got this. As Bill just walks over to him and just
Bill?
covers his head with a blanket.
Like a parrot.
And Bill gives a very, very proud thumbs up. He won't hear things now.
Very good.
He is still a bird at the
Expertly
end of the day.
Ezekiel slowly reaches into his coat pocket and it slowly pulls out another mug.
Anyway,
Can Ellie throw the dagger into that mug?
You're welcome to.
Okay.
It just kind of crashes into his mug and he's like, hey, you broke it for me. Good job. Shockingly, Jackson does not shoot up from that. But he kind of like looks at you guys like, so if you're intending to poison a large group of people, this will work fantastically. I don't know to the extent of the poison. He kind of like hesitates for a moment and kind of like licks his lips. Either it will kill them or will make them violently ill. I'm trying to determine whether or not my kidneys are malfunctioning.
okay, so not drinkable. Disappointing as Bill just walks over.
Yeah, it's
closes the
totally
lid.
drinkable, just not healthy for you.
What alcohol is?
She has the right mindset. I seriously need some more. As he like just like pulls out a tiny little cup and yeah, like he's taking shots of this thing. Ah, I forgot what the taste of poison was like. Good shit.
Yeah. Anyway, as Bill
It really
like
does taste like giant's
slowly
piss.
closes the lid and slowly begins to
Oh.
put it back in his bag of holding.
If it's poison, then stop drinking it.
It's so good though. I've already drunk giant's piss before, but this is what I imagine what it would be like. So good.
Oh, my lord.
You know, it's not gonna kill me. I think. Hold on, I'll get back to you. Like walks over to like next to Jackson. There's like a small couch thing. He like lays down. And he's like, I'm going to die for a couple of minutes. Don't worry, I'll be back. And he like rests his head there, and his eyes roll back, and you can tell from the look he just died.
Oh.
The fuck?
Okay. Anyway, I think he died. It's fine. He'll come back to life.
Again?
Where's... He's dead and you're just... Where's my elixir?
To be fair, he exploded the last time he
Oh,
drank something.
medicine
I made.
check the fool.
Yeah.
Actually, should I hit him with... I'll hit him with... I'll medicine check, and then I'll hit him with my fry pan.
God.
That's not how resurrection works!
It is for Ezekiel, doctor!
No, I think she's got a point.
Mm-hmm.
What the... Oh my gosh.
You can tell as you start patting him down and kind of feeling his neck and stuff. Yeah, he's stone cold dead.
Hmm?
What you can assume is that he might wake up in a couple of minutes. I'm assuming you just start beating the shit out of his face.
Well, you know, gotta wake him up.
You just watch her be like, all right, let me check his pulse, let me check his neck. That's fine. He's doing good, guys. He's just dead. Moves him over and just slaps the shit out of him with her frying pan.
Yeah, this is
That's
normal.
technically 9 damage, but you know.
That's how
Yeah.
you break a skull, not how you wake a dead man up.
Look,
As-
I worked at a bar for plenty of years. This is how you do it.
As she absolutely beams the man in the face, you see his eyes like roll back to the front and the color starts to go into his skin again. He's like, oh, Jesus, criminy.
I just thought of something.
Good morning, sunshine.
Yeah.
Just the entire time this happened, Bill just watches his soul leave his body and just watch this go down, and and Bill's just staring at his like dead self, just like, huh.
I
Since
swear,
it's-
if this keeps up, I'm just going to throw myself off the top of the Citadel.
I mean, to be fair, if it helps any, he doesn't seem to mind what's going on. He
Oh,
seems pretty unbothered.
oh. You see him like grab his jaw and you hear a very loud crack as it moves back into place. Oh, you have a mighty swing, lady.
Thanks. I've
I
been
told-
working on it.
I told you I was going to die for a couple minutes. It's fine. You had to beat the crap out of me. Oh, it turns out the poison, very strong. I don't recommend you drinking it. Unless you want to die. Can I have some more?
No.
Oh.
There's something wrong with you, sir.
Yeah, people tell me that all the time. I wonder if
If
Jackson
you want
wants
more,
some.
you'll have to pay for it. You
Kind of
receive some
reaches
free
into
samples,
his
of course.
pockets and he's like, it's a bag of fingers.
I'm
Some
not gonna give
toes.
him more of this stuff. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure we could use this stuff.
You know, I'm starting to think I should be continuing my research in the next room over. Just picking up his gear. His equipment, and
Actually,
just moving to the next
Vials of
room.
Sorry, Ollie.
acid.
Acid's pretty good.
Or
Copper coin. I
Hey,
bag copper
Rachel.
coins.
nah, never mind. I'll talk to him about stuff later. Anyway, what's happened here in the last several days? Obviously, it seems like you guys got here way before I did. How?
Portals?
But we don't have anyone that can make portals like that far.
Ollie, what was it? Was it Mrs. Claw? No. No, was it Big Mama? Was it? I don't know. It was somebody.
Oh.
It was like a door, and then
I forgot about her.
she has cookies.
Yeah, I remember that part. I just kind of forgot that she could do things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you got. So why did you steal Tommy's coin?
Because it was an apocalyptic item. It seemed useful.
Right.
Also, it looked me in the eyes, and I felt bad vibes, so I decided to steal it. The vibes are mine now.
Gotcha. Where's Rowena? Normally she'd beam me in the head for something at this point. Well, maybe. She would
Oh,
at least give me snark.
She disappeared elsewhere,
really
and we're
big.
not sure where she is. But she'll come back. She always does.
Gotcha.
I just really hope whatever she's doing isn't in relation to the war. Just saying. Usually when she sneaks off, it has something to do with Dad. Or, well, her dad. Or some elf thing.
I mean, I would make a bet with you, but we both know I would win.
Yep.
Well, if since y'all took a different route than she did, she may have some trouble getting back then. Especially if she tries to go through the trail. The dragon's
Oh.
active.
Why is the dragon active? The dragon shouldn't be active yet.
He is active because I asked him to be active. Since I didn't have you guys there for him to use
Okay.
against me, I was able to work a deal in my favor. That's why I went alone.
So, should we warn her then? Just in case?
Nah. She's probably, if she was behind me, she's probably already encountered him by now. Plus, it's funnier this way. She'll be fine.
Bill.
What?
Ellie's twirling her pan.
Hey, don't hit me. Take a
With all
joke.
due respect,
Yeah.
I'd like my sister alive, despite all things
Oh, he won't kill
she believes
anybody.
in. Okay.
That I primitively asked him to not kill my friends.
Okay.
And it's more fun if he doesn't kill people because it's harder not to kill people.
Yeah, because at this point, the only person that should go against Rowena in the endeavors and the beliefs she has should be her own sister or herself.
Are you trying to ask me not to have fights with her over things?
Oh, you're welcome to. It's entertaining.
I mean,
Saves me the energy, but still.
it
I
saves you
at this
energy, but causes me frustration.
this is true. It's honestly at this point, it feels like our original plan for the war has already gone out the window. So
I mean,
I'm
our
kind of
plan is
over it.
our plan is kind of just to stop it, and
Yep.
details do change plans. To be fair, my original plan is kind of out the window. Some extra tidbits happened while I was there. Saw my master. The dead are currently visible, so even if they got past the dragon, they have to deal with all the dead half elves.
Oh yay. That would be great to run into, especially if she is surrounded by I don't know. I don't even know why she left by herself. So,
I don't either, but to be fair, uh, it's a benefit to me and you. I think you know the
a
constantly
benefit
trying.
to me is going to be simply Mercy and Littlefoot Forest will be left alone.
I
Just
mean,
because I am a half elf doesn't mean I care for the elves. It's a life
uh,
I don't know and don't care for. I mean, I honestly wish I was human because then I can spend an equal life with Jackson.
that's, fair, but that's not what I meant. It's a benefit to you because it makes us poking at Rowena constantly, her poking at herself and or the dead poking at her, depending if she tries to go through the trail.
That's fair.
Uh, I wasn't trying to unpack your whole long life package. Sorry.
Sorry, it's been a long day.
Uh, isn't every day a long day for all of us? Seeing my master again was nice until it wasn't, and fighting him on stuff was fun. To be honest, I'm surprised you haven't made some threat to just walk back to Mercy given my actions, given the constant.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because that's usually your response to things. So I'm taking it in stride, and I'm considering this a win.
I
I think.
mean, I'm sorry if you think that's my usual response to things. It's not
It's
what
your usual response to what I do.
well, and what Rowena does. It just you happen to be around, or it's happened to be a thing you did recently. But as
Uh,
much as I would love to go back to Mercy, especially depending on what Rowena does, as much as I say that and how often I say that, it doesn't mean I'm going to. I don't want people killed in my name or unable to go home because I went home because I chose my happiness over theirs, but I don't know if I'll be able to even succeed on providing a home of sorts for those around us or even stop the war enough so people have a home.
yeah, people will
So,
have a home.
yeah, well, I hope so. But yeah, I know I bring up about just going back to Mercy off and on, but that's because it's like a daydream. It's just me vocalizing a daydream. That's all. It's not me actually wanting to leave, Bill. I'm going to try to
Mm,
see this through. Okay?
uh,
I mean,
respectfully,
we're
you
a
could have
team.
told me. There's a few times I
Sorry.
wondered why you stayed, but It's not really meant to
I
be
mean,
mean. It's more just a concern, especially as we get
I get it.
towards the end, and parts of the plans that I've been working through get close. Given I'm
No,
not
I
even
get
sure
it.
about a lot of this.
I mean, Arthur has had to straighten me out a few times to even continue after the first time we were at Mercy. And Jackson is ready to go at any time to bring me back, but I'm still pushing through because, as I said before, we're a team, and I'm the one that's kind of started this little conquest of ours of ending the war and such. And no matter what, also, my biggest thing that I've said as constantly is I want us all to return to Mercy and drink together and such. I mean, I still have a bet with a dragonborn to hold up to, so
Right. That.
yeah.
I
But
hope that's
yeah.
fun. Sadly,
What's
whenever that
wrong?
goes, I won't be joining you when this all ends.
Why is that? I mean, your master's around,
Yeah,
so
but
I don't.
these peepers of mine had a very specific cost that was not intentional, but happened. It's why I went alone this time to the dragon. Whenever this ends, I'll be immediately going to the dragon and trying to take it to the plains. As per my deal with it.
You know, I
Yeah,
know it's a
but
silly thought.
every thought's silly. That's what makes life fun.
Well, I would rather, once this war ends, provide a way that my entire team can just go back to a normal life for once, even if that means losing my god touch and my elvish side. Because I just want to be a simple human. You know, be like Rowena, but brown hair and brown eyes. No mark, no pointy ears, no white hair, funky eyes, you know? And just
I
give up
mean,
a whole part of me just so you can drink with me, you know?
I don't mean to be a little begrudging, but you're normal to me. I don't have a single other Kenku on this continent. I am, in the most literal sense, one of a kind. And the only other Kenkus on this continent that I'm aware of are buried and have been dead a long time.
That
So,
is fair.
at least from my perspective, you're pretty normal. At least from the perspective of someone who won't live super, super long. But
Bill,
what? I'm
you're
30.
normal to me too. And
It,
every day could be our last day. That doesn't matter how old you are or anything. We could even die tonight for that matter. Okay?
depends on how things go.
Bill,
What? I'm joking. Mostly.
Bill,
What? We have the coin thing.
this is true.
Who knows? Plus, you're passive aggressive little wingding. Wingding? Wingding. Why did I say wingding? I'm a call her
Why did you
wingding.
say wingding?
Because that's what the thing inside you is a wingding.
Oh, Cadence?
Is that what we're
She just doesn't want me to die. She doesn't care really.
Yeah, wingding. Something unimportant, it doesn't really matter.
That's fair. Do I sense her feeling opinionated about this situation, what he just said?
You feel a very vague, yeah, okay, kind of a feeling.
Yeah, she agrees. She's cool with what you just said about her.
It's just got like the most passive aggressive shrug you've ever felt.
I mean, to be fair, she could feel anything. It doesn't really matter. She knows I'm right.
Yeah.
But on a positive note, the next half of the plan should be coming together. To be fair, I do need to go to the upper area, but I needed to grab my coat first. Oh, and check in and actually inform people of my ideas. Also, kind of helps that we're in a situation right now where my plans aren't stoppable. Kind of. I mean, they're
Okay.
very stoppable.
As long
So,
as your plans don't affect. At this point, I'm settling as long as Mercy and Littlefoot Forest are left alone.
oh, it shouldn't affect anything but the Citadel right now.
As long as it doesn't affect that. That's it. That's all I request.
Fair enough. Well, given that we just got this giant thing of poison, I think I just found our way of messing with the entire Citadel.
Try to get Mom excluded. I can even just bring her to Mercy. I
I
know
mean-
Rowena will want Mom to live. Mom was on the side of the slums.
Well, I could just tell her, hey, don't drink the water. I've got to figure
That
out
works.
I got to figure out where their water supply is, specifically the part that, like, the reservoir they actually drink from, not the. Do they go through a cleaning process? Like, I
don't
know
know.
I know I had to boil water back home because otherwise I would get sicker than drinking booze all the time. So there's that. This is my guess. So I want to talk to the people of the Citadel. Normal people that aren't in the military, about what they think of everything before I do anything. I don't want to
Okay.
just subject kinder people to bad things. And if the Citadel's majority is decent, I don't want to just harm people without reason. My feelings for half elves
Hmm.
aside, I won't kill them or harm them in any way without sufficient reason. I'm not a
Honestly, I
monster.
agree with that. Because not everyone's bad, and those that have served such a great consequence to those around them deserve to have some sort of punishment done. However, it wouldn't be right to include those that are innocent. Like, I'm sure there's half elves within the army that hold on. I'm sure there's half elves in the army that are not part of all this massacring and pride and climbing the ranks and everything.
Yeah. It's just I want to make sure what I'm doing I can actually sit with. To be fair, it's always loud, but I don't want that loudness to get louder without good reason. And I don't plan on just leaving the Citadel uninjured after what's happened, what I've seen.
I
There
mean,
needs to be a
Marigold was
reason.
planning on dismantling and taking over herself.
Yeah, but we also have to give her a large enough foothold for that to happen. Making people just sick won't do that. And I just got handed a giant barrel of something that can, well, do that. And it's already in my bag. But again, I don't want to just act without thought. I think making the army sick is a good idea. but you also got to hit the general populace with something. But I want to make sure before that I'm aware of how they actually think, the average person. After all, you can't have chaos without order, especially in a musical sense. That applies to people too. But I'm not doing
Yeah.
that tonight, because I have been walking for 3 days without sleep.
Yeah, you need to get your rest, but
Yep. Alright, where's my bag? Bill just waddles into his big bag and just...
Jack's in the other room, just kind of charming in with his snoring, and fucking Ezekiel just being like, "Man, I rushed all the way over here. I forgot to turn off my alcohol." Oh yeah, I started lighting alcohol on fire to see which one was most potent. I probably shouldn't have left that unattended, huh? Well, you folks have a good night. I assume that most of you sleep. I forgot that you're human. Looks like half of you sleep anyways. Alright, well, you guys have a good night, and kind of like looks at Averin for a second. Maybe the coin will not hate you?
Who knows?
Don't lick it.
I'll try.
Good plan. He
Uh,
just kind of walks out the door.
All right
Cool.
then.
So, you going to sleep too, or?
Me?
I mean, you can either go to sleep, or you can figure out something to do during the night, or...
should not be in the
I think I'll go to sleep.
Okay. Feel free to roll me a wisdom save.
So I put the coin in my bag, and it's just like, you'll be good now. Wisdom save. Tasty.
11. Cool. So, you again... sorry, I'm hearing noises. So you once again have those unfortunate visions. Again, whatever is your choice, but you're having some very unpleasant things, dreams, mindsets, visions, whatever you want to call it. And they're just kind of
back.
existing in your head as you sleep. It's not very restful sleep. It's not very good sleep. It's very uncomfortable sleep. And you wake up with a dull headache for 4 damage and a level of exhaustion.
Yeah, I think I probably like end up like getting out there. I just like looking at like the coin as you're like, you're mad at me, aren't you?
You get no answer.
I consider for a moment like rubbing it to like see if then like, because I feel like the coin told me that like I could establish contact with it if I rub it, like a weird genie in a flippin' messed up lamp.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like rub it a little bit.
Kind of rub it a little bit and nothing really happens.
Might have killed it. Darn.
It did tell you to name it if you wanted it. But I also told you to name it when you wanted to make a deal, so...
It's a lot of commitment. Sure, I can't just torture it into submission.
You can certainly
Roll for
try.
intimidation.
It's the eons old creature that you assume is eons old. So I mean, you could try. You might die, but you could try.
I look at it, it's like, hey, if you don't talk to me, I'm gonna put you back in the booze.
No response.
Not even a roll.
You get absolutely no feeling from it. It's just like a regular old coin, though it's slightly slimy.
I see how it is. We'll put it back in the bag.
What kind of visions would Averin have been receiving throughout the night? What kind of horrors would she have been reliving?
Probably her early days in like the slums when she was still a child and not entirely sure how exactly to live, like alone, like the rain and stuffs. You know, with a random passersby who just run by you and stab you. Since we established that's a normal thing that happens in the slums.
It is very normal.
Yeah.
Everyone knows how to sew up a wound because everyone's had to do it at least twice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
you're just having that kind of play through your head as you're awake, and it does not feel like you slept. It just kind of feels like you just got hit by a freaking box in the face all night.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of you guys slowly start to wake up. Bill, you crawl out from under your bag. Oliver, you wake up to your creations. You're welcome to roll another unstable alchemy if you'd like. And Ellie, you probably put Jackson to proper bed, and so you two wake up as well and walk out. Ooh, 15. Nice.
Random potion. Let's see what we get.
I will find it hilarious if you
crap.
get a life potion.
I messed something up. Give me a second. Here we go.
39.
39. I think that's close to the resurrection potion, but I don't think that's it.
Thought that was in the high 70s.
I'll double check. It doesn't matter. Here
There you go.
immediately.
But yeah, so you all kind of wake up, your morning's being started. Jackson seems to have a hangover. Averin seems to have a worse one, even though she didn't drink. And you all just kind of meet up in the living room once again, as Jackson is just kind of nursing his head, Ellie next to him.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
What's up?
Well, you know how I've been running experimentation to try and develop new potions?
Yeah.
Yes, what's up?
The one I created today is quite unusual. It might be useful for the illness, but I'm strongly doubting it's a good idea.
What is it?
Above game, I just posted the effect of the potion in the campaign chat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's kind of concerning, Doc.
Do you know if these mushrooms are harmful?
At this point, not really. Though I could probably run some sort of experimentation on it to physically adjust which types of mushrooms it produces.
I'm saying like the mushrooms coming out of the people.
You
if
know.
that's that harmful.
Ezekiel would probably wonder if they're edible mushrooms.
Fundamentally, yes, he would to some degree, Bill.
There are some mushrooms that taste almost exactly like meat.
I mean, they're more like an animal than a plant, unironically.
Yeah, I've eaten my fair share of shrooms, good and bad.
Does that mean that the gnome that was raving about mushrooms talking to him was probably correct?
I might not go that far, but so far as I'm aware, mushrooms aren't sentient. Or at least the vast majority of the ones I've seen aren't.
Well, that's good to know. I was very worried for a second that we had an entire mushroom colony speaking to us. That sounds very unpleasant.
No, that's happened once before.
No, mushroom colony is literally just an array of mushrooms growing from the same set of roots.
Ah. The more you know.
I mean, there was a thing below the slums.
I'm sorry?
I mean, yeah, we did see that one unmicing it, but to be fair, that was the only one I've ever seen so far. And let's be real, I do not expect that we're going to be seeing too many mushrooms with arms and legs on the surface.
Yeah, let's not do that. And if that happens, I hope I'm long dead.
I mean, they were friendly, kind of, and probably until I
We did
burned
approach them.
We did approach
right.
them.
Well, we approached that one group, but
They seemed friendly enough, though, until they almost killed a few of us with their spores. But it's fine.
yeah, I don't think on second thought, I don't think I'm using this potion.
Amount of near-death experiences that you people get stuns me. I'm a trained assassin, and I still don't encounter as many near-death experiences as you guys have. And he kind of looks at Ellie. 3 months?
Yeah, it's only been 3 months.
You have no idea what kind of madness I've seen just simply from my experiments. Completely ignoring the adventures.
Yo, crazy, Doug. Anyone got some water? My headache is throbbing.
Doc has a really good potion of sorts for hangovers.
I could give you the lesser cure-all, Holly has to over.
Mm-hmm. That'd be nice, Doc.
Alright. Let's see. Should be. He pulls out the clear-colored concoction and he hands it to him.
Nice. This looks more like alcohol than the alcohol I drank, but yeah. He takes a swig of it.
Kind of tastes like water, but probably a little bit more bitter.
Tastes pretty
lesser
good.
Restoration.
Nice, nice. Alright, I'm feeling tip-top shape. He kind of looks at Averin. You look about as good as I felt earlier.
Yeah, I think I might be cursed or something. Either that or I have severe, deep-set traumas that are unresolved. But I feel like, I don't know, after waterboarding the coin and then it getting worse, I'm thinking it's probably the former.
Do we need to waterboard it again?
Maybe, but I'm also considering if either I'm cursed by the coin or cursed by that gem thing. Or some sort of weird collaboration of both.
Maybe we should put both.
Waterboard the gem?
somewhere
Of course, yes. Exactly my thoughts.
We need a new
Oh
one.
my lord.
Feel like y'all need... Actually, you have a doctor right here. I feel like you guys need a moral compass.
That's Ellie.
Yeah, that's Ellie.
He slowly looks over at Ellie.
Honestly, I don't even know at this. It's too early for this, guys.
They're trying to waterboard an ancient coin and whatever that other crystal she was talking about was.
They already did that yesterday. You were just drunk.
Oh. Well, they're trying to do it again, but also mix in a powerful crystal that they think is cursing them, apparently.
At this point, I think probably our best bet is to try and put both of them somewhere that's well outside of everyone's reach.
Agreed.
Actually, come to think of it, can I by chance see that bag of holding for a second there?
Why?
If memory serves, those things are trans-dimensional spaces, right? Wouldn't that technically mean that any object put within it technically isn't in this plane of existence anymore? Can't get much farther away than that.
Magic man.
Can't get much farther away than that. He just says with a shrug.
You know what? Fair. That's true.
But what if she wants to keep the coin?
So far as I'm aware, all you really need to do to retrieve an item from a bag of holding is stuff your arm in and think about the object.
This is true. And based on Bill's adventures, he always takes that bag with him, usually.
Yeah. It kind of holds all my weapons. I'm a bit too small to go carrying around a sword on my back.
I mean, that's fair. It was mostly just a suggestion. I don't know how effective it would be anyway.
It's a pretty good thought, though.
What do you think, Evan?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm not terribly fond of the nightmares, so
Bill just opens up his bag.
flick the coin into it.
Nice.
Should I put the
Okay.
gem in there or?
You're welcome to.
All
That's
right.
gonna be one crazy haunted bag.
Oh, my bag's already haunted. I'm using it.
Mm-hmm.
Amount of
That's
shit that's
fair.
in that bag.
They're gonna go in there. Where are we? And just notice the 5 billion Molotov. It's got
So you shove
25.
your gem in there too, or?
I like the gem, like kind of hold it a little bit. I mean, it's very shiny. Theoretically, I could just pawn this off on someone else.
You can literally just get another gem.
But this one's
You
been
can feel
shiny.
Averin as you're holding it. It does give you more magical power.
And it
You can
gives me
feel-
more magical power just by holding it. Hmm. Close my
We
eyes.
can literally get you something else to give you such great power.
I suppose that's fair.
Toss it in.
Okay. Put the gem in there.
As you kind of like
Right.
flick the gem in there, you can like tangibly feel the magic that was giving you kind of pull away from you, and it just kind of goes into the bag. It's almost disappointing. Like the feeling that you're feeling is almost disappointment as you drop in. Not from the gem, but from you.
If it helps Averin, I have no concept of what things are worth. It's shiny, therefore it shall be protected.
Admirable.
That's fair.
By the way, I need to go up to the Citadel today to go talk to see what people think. Does anyone want to go with me while I go figure out where their water stuff is and whatnot?
I'll go with you. I can masquerade
I feel
as
like
an
it'd
elf.
be better for. I mean, that is true. You are an elf.
She's
I was
the
gonna say we
Masquerade
should
as
go
an
as a-
elf is the only elf in the party.
Wait,
Sorry,
she's
it's
an
a
elf?
habit. Oh, yes. Turns out I'm actually a full-blood elf. I have a mark on my back that I didn't see because the slums doesn't have very many good mirrors.
Oh.
Also, I don't ever take off my clothes because the slums doesn't have very good baths either. You might have noticed that one.
I've heard you mentioning a water problem a couple times, though. What exactly are you referring to?
Oh, that's right. Wait, no, I think I told you about it, but you didn't see it because you didn't want to walk in on me changing, sort of. Took off my
I
shirt.
mean, that's kind of considered common courtesy where I come from.
Okay.
Everyone just standing there staring at you with a confused look.
Just like it's like, well, I mean, if someone has their clothes off, that means they're vulnerable, and then you have an opportune time to stab them if you wish. So, anyways, yeah, I have kind of like lift up my shirt just slightly so you can see like the mark things. It's like, so turns out I'm a full blood elf, and I never noticed. And I don't know. I guess that means I'm better than all of you, supposedly.
I mean, you tend to be sneakier,
Hmm.
but that's about it. I wouldn't say you're a better bard than me. That's a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll stick with my potions anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, maybe it means that I'll be able to get places in the Citadel or something.
Hmm.
I mean, it would be best for you and Bill to go up to the Citadel rather than
Me alone.
Doc and I, because I am a half elf with a, if I'm not careful, a recognizable symbol, and Doc is supposed to be dead.
Hmm.
I can
Yeah.
at least stay with Oliver to make sure he's okay and nothing happens to him, along with Jackson.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. If you are,
You know, gotta protect our Doc. The cure of all things.
I wouldn't quite call this a cure, but if you say so. Just says looking over at the concoction that's probably even fizzing.
Yeah, it's looking fancy.
I'd imagine it practically looks like urine at this point.
Considering there are
deeply
rampant
unappetizing.
stabbers around, keeping you two safe will be a pretty good endeavor.
If it's my choice, I'm staying here to keep an eye on this thing.
All right.
I can already tell this is kind of already long overdue here.
Mhm.
And I'd rather get this thing finished as quickly as I can.
Yeah. Seems from what Marigold told us that the things are starting to ramp up a little bit. So I'll stay here with Ellie and the doc. Bill and Averin, you'll go up top. Whatever you want to do, Bill, get it done, and then let us know your plan, and we can work around it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm gonna find a
Sounds
crack
like a
in the
plan.
wall.
Be sure you guys have your sending stones, okay? And do let us know if anything happens, okay?
Will do. I have my cloak back, so I can get back
We're a
easily.
team. This is the last time I want us to be separated.
If things go as they should, I'm hoping so too.
We'll do our best.
Cool.
All right. Ready to go?
All right.
If there's a water situation going on out there, then I want to take this as well. I'm going to hand over my alchemy jug.
Nice.
Ooh.
Just as usual, rub its surface, call out a fluid. It'll give you either the exact one you ask for or the closest substitute it can manage.
Very nice.
Clean water.
Right.
Hmm.
Something Averin's barely heard of.
Yeah.
So Averin, you take the jug. You guys start heading on your way. Bill, you can very easily make your way out of the slums. Averin, how are you planning on getting out of the slums?
I assume I know some decent routes from with the slum stuff. Getting
Mhm.
out of the slums.
That's actually a good point. Roll me a. You've been down here for quite some time. You know the ins and outs. Roll me a history check with advantage, followed by a survival with advantage.
Yeah. Did you say I had exhaustion before?
Huh?
Or is that?
Yes, you do in fact have exhaustion, which means that all this is going to be at flat, actually. It's a good point, I think. Yes. So, because you have disadvantage on everything. So a flat history check and then a flat survival check.
Shouldn't have said anything.
I absolutely will have missed that, so good job. Okay, that's very good.
And then what was the other one?
Survival check.
Survival check. Flat survival check?
Yes.
Or okay.
Oof.
I did get stabbed.
That is true. Bill, roll me a survival check.
Uno momento.
You have not been down here for as long as she has, but she has excellent memory. So, the combination of the two of you, Averin knows where to go. You've been down here for so long that you do in fact know most of the secret routes that lead into the Citadel itself, the upper layers. You, however, have not walked those paths in almost a decade. You have absolutely no idea where to go. But thankfully, Bill has the creative genius of a blind deaf man who can wander around a city with no problem. Somehow. So,
Amazing.
so you essentially tell him more or less where you need to go. And Bill walks in a direction, and somehow, while understanding nothing about what you just said to him, he does in fact find a way to get there. No one knows exactly how the two of you are making this work, but you're making it work.
It's just like, all right, so in order to get to where we need to go, we need to take a left here, to go to the double right, find where the graffiti is on that one wall, and then after we pass the second dumpster, we need to jump the fence.
Okay. Jump the who's it, find the what's it, and spin around the where's it. Gotcha.
Good enough.
His god powers shall come in handy.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, he understands everything, for he is a god.
Bill, life is like a hurricane in the citadel. And that's just his inner thoughts right now.
Oh, it's
Amazing.
beautiful. Yeah, so y'all just start wandering, heading towards wherever, and you eventually make it through a couple small houses. You're distinctly going upwards, and you eventually pop out of a house with fresh air coming in, as you guys have now managed to wander directly into the essentially the marketplace of the lower edge of the citadel, kind of where humans and elves are freely mingling with one another.
All right. Time to start asking elves how they feel about half elves and figuring out where water supply is. This is not a very well thought out plan, but it's what I've got.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys plan on doing first?
Wandering.
Fair enough. Roll me a flat 20.
And stopping and talking to whoever's willing.
Fair. So you guys just start walking around. Averin, you're still exhausted, so are you actually attempting to interact with people, or are you just like, let Bill handle?
Bill's pretty good at, like, the stuff, so like stand beside him and like kind of look noble-ish.
Okay. So you guys just kind of walking. You interact with a couple of people. Most of the people you interact with, they look at you either concerned, confused, or they have no idea what or who you are. So you get very sporadic information. Some of it is just, hi, half-elves are there, elves are there, would you like some corn? What do you mean water thing? We all just drink water. And that's just the general gist of the conversations that you guys regularly get. At some point or another, you walk up to a marketplace kind of tender, one of the sellers, and you start talking to him. He kind of looks at Bill for a second, and then looks at Averin, very clearly ignoring Bill. And he looks at me and he's just like, how can I help you, dear? Would you like, we have some lettuce, we have some apples, what you need, we can probably get it for you if you can't find it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I was just coming down from the Citadel to do some shopping. I was just thinking about. You heard about the state of things going around here?
Ah, yeah, that old business down below with the quarantine and all that. Yeah, heard about that. It's kind of sad state of affairs, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's really it's a pity for the residents down there, isn't it?
Indeed. I would hate to have to be quarantined like that, but I mean, if it keeps the rest of us alive, then I'd be willing to be quarantined too. Feel bad for him, but I mean, you don't want to make anyone else die for you, you know?
Mm-hmm. Can imagine what it must be like to be one of them. Like a half elf or however it is.
It's a poor land down there. Half elf, full elf, human, orc, whoever have you down there. It's just, if you're down there and you're quarantined, I feel bad for you. I would hate to do that myself, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I got kids at home, and if I had to go quarantine to save them, I would any day of the week.
Mm-hmm. I was hearing something about what was it, the water, or however it is? I glance over at Bill.
Yeah, the water supply. Heard something along those lines. Wonder where it comes from. Where do we get our water?
He kind of looks at Bill for a second with slight confusion and slight curiosity, but mostly a passion of, I don't really want to talk to that. It's kind of the same way that you would react if, like, a dog started looking at you and talking, or like a weird cockroach did, or like a fucking ostrich just started talking to you. It's like, he doesn't really dislike you. He's just concerned that you exist, basically. He
I'm
just
an
kind of,
normal race outside of the Citadel, sir. Thank you.
Right. We have a water source in town. Have two of them technically. One is for the higher ups, and one's for the lower up down here. Well, the lower one is set inside of just near the edge of the town. We have our own little waterfall system of sorts. That's a little ways away, and that feeds into a irrigation system, which feeds into our drinking supply. And then there's a secondary pipe that leads all the way up to the higher up region, the upper area, and then they double purify their water, make sure everything's on the up and up before they send it to a little bit of a reservoir, I suppose. That way they know when their water is getting low and when danger happens and stuff like that. They keep relatively good check on it, but I mean, there's been no real scare on the water for honestly, like, centuries now. So,
Well, I'm glad it's clean.
indeed, I would hate to have to deal with it not being clean. There's been a couple troubles every now and again of things dirtying the water. Obviously, we have a lot of monsters that appear randomly, or even the birds and the other creatures like that, and they interact and infect the water before it gets to us, but we always manage to clean it through the piping system, so we've never had too much problem with it. Why are you wondering?
Oh, well, I just moved to town, and where I used to live, water wasn't very good.
My condolences.
So, yeah. So knowing about the water supply is important to me. And my
Fair.
friend who recommended I move here, she knew it was clean, but she didn't know why.
Well, we keep it clean as best we can. Well, the officials do. I just do my job to trade food and such. But, never had an issue with it myself. Kids never had an issue with it, so should be all good for you, kid.
That's good to hear. Hey, let's get going. Thank you for the information. Have a nice day.
Anytime. Let's start making way
Okay.
forwards.
Okay, let's head to the upper half and see how things are there.
Yeah.
I think I figured out where we should hit.
Mm-hmm. Make our way upwards then.
Mm-hmm. And once we get to the other part, it's just same old asking the same question to whoever will talk.
So you interact with a couple of them. It's very similar for the most part of the interactions you get, although as you go higher and higher, the information it's the exact same information of like there's a piping system, the water is clean as it goes in, usually
He's
the
not
people.
asking about that
Oh, okay.
anymore. He knows a general area to look. He's asking about
Mhm.
what's it called? The thoughts on elves and half elves and
So as you go higher and higher, you talk with a couple of salesmen, you talk with a couple of general individuals that are just walking the streets, a couple people like that. The general consensus that you seem to be able to get from most people in the lower regions is that no one cares. They're people. People are people. Human, half elf, elf, everyone's about the same. They just care about surviving, making sure they have enough food, making sure they have their water, and the half elves are frontline warriors, so they're protectors, and so most people respect that profession in the same way that you'd respect a doctor or a soldier or something like that. As you go higher and higher up, you go from middle class to upper class, and those guys are a little bit more stingy. They pretty much exclusively talk to Averin rather than you. In fact, most of them don't even register that you exist. And they pretty much say the same thing of like, half-elves are protectors, and that's pretty much all they are. There's a modicum of respect in relation to them, but really that's just like, they respect them in the same way that you might respect a cactus for protecting you against something. It's there, it's a protector, that's as much as they care. In terms of elves, most of the ones you're talking to inside the higher up region are elves, so a lot of respect there, and they don't care about humans that much. As you go higher and higher up, they go from being, they interact at the same level to humans become secondary citizens, more like dogs than people. And it's a very gradual shift. But as you go higher and higher up, humans just stop being on the streets. They stop being a common sight, and it pretty much is just elves. And then as you get all the way up, you get to the military region, or the most important region, which is the upper city. At that point, you get stopped. And there's a half-elf guard on duty. There's gates behind him. He's like, hold up. What's your business here?
Learning about the town. Learning from its residents.
Interesting. Well, unfortunately, this is as far as I can let you two folks.
I've been up here before once. It was a while back, though.
Have you?
Yeah, it was... What was her name? Bill's gonna drop the general's wife. It was to see her.
Her
In a while
name
ago.
was... Valeria? Oh my god.
Valera.
Valeria? I think it's Valeria.
Valeria?
Valeria. There we go. That's how you fucking say it. Valeria.
Man, I guess I'm gonna have to give her a send that I wasn't able to get in. She'll be very disappointed that a friend from her adventurer days isn't able to see her.
He raises an eyebrow. Huh.
What?
Well, I've never seen you around here before, so...
I typically took the back ways. When you're a mage, you tend to go unconventional routes.
Interesting. He kind of like looks over his shoulder and he calls over somebody who pops up, and then they start running off. He's like, let's go inform her that you're here. No offense, we're gonna call you a bird person.
None taken?
Oh.
Yeah, the last time I saw her, she handed me a basket of bread because I was visiting one of her kids.
It does sound like her. Though Rowena's never had many friends, so...
To be fair, Rowena isn't exactly the nicest of people.
That's true. Very, very nice to spar with, though. He seems to be remembering fond memories as he's kind of like has a half smile on his face. Good times.
The only type of sparring I've done with her is verbally.
Yeah, no, she just beat the living crap out of me a couple times over.
Hmm.
About as close as you get to actually being her friend, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of got that.
Though she had a couple friends. Pancake is he's a nice fellow. He cooks for us. He's not he's not the sharpest knife in the scabbard, though.
Yeah. By the
Yeah.
way, what do you think of your job?
I mean, it's a job. Stand here, make sure no one gets in there without prior authorization. It's kind of peaceful some days. Not many people tend to try to get into this area, so you're really the first couple folks I've talked to in like couple days. Aside from some of the other half elves.
Yeah. I
Why?
mean,
Why do you ask?
well, just traveling about. I tend to keep on my feet, so, but as things change and times move forward, it's nice to hear what younger people than me think
Ah.
about things.
Well, you didn't hear from me, but want to ask May elves about that. They tend to have a little bit more of a higher viewpoint on things, I suppose you could say.
I mean, they seem to have at least a lower end, because I walk around and talk to folks, and it was nice to go see kind of things all around town. Though the higher you go, it seems the less they see you all as people.
Yeah, the lower ends is nice if you're looking for interactions. Higher ends is, well, when you live as long as an elf does, they tend to hold some values very close to heart. So it's been gets a little bit difficult some days. Folks like me, we tend to just stick either around here with the other half elves, or we tend to go down below and just interact with some of the folks down there, since most of them are humans or nice faring elves down there.
Yeah.
But usually it's the higher up you go, the more money you have, the more time you've been alive, and the more concrete your perspective gets, sadly.
Yeah, I wonder how she thinks of all this. Oh, I do need to deliver that for her at some point. Hmm.
Couple minutes go by, and then you see the other half elf that had run off coming back, but with Rumina's mother in tow. She catches your eye, nods to you, looks at Averin with a slight confused face, but nods to her as well as she approaches the gate. You may open up. I know who they are. He just kind of shrugs, nods, opens up the gate, waves you on through. Best of luck with your travels, bird guy.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you guys walk on through, he closes the gate, and goes back to his original position as Rowena's mother smiles at you and just says, "It's good to see you again, Bill."
Yeah, thanks for the bread. Ellie appreciated it, so did Rowena.
It's not a problem. Why you here?
Gathering information to some degree.
Hmm.
More for myself than others.
She kind of waves off the other guard, who takes a moment of hesitation before he does leave, and she smiles and turns on her heel. Is there anywhere I can help you gather information, or?
Just the general elf population. I'm trying to learn how elves view half elves to some degree, so I can make a plan more efficiently without what's the word? Feeling guilty that I'm doing something or not.
Ah,
Uh,
well,
Ellie and Ellie and I and our group have plans to try to make things better, but some of the methods I've got aren't exactly the best. So I want to make sure before doing what's necessary for the betterment of both myself and others.
I see. The
Pretty sure
elves treat the half-elves as a necessity when you go up high enough. The lower end tends to talk with them on a daily basis, interact with them, at least the ones that aren't active soldiers, and so it's more of a personal interaction. As you go higher up, the interactions lessen, and same with humans. So they tend to kind of be on their own for a little bit longer. And then especially with elves having a longer lifespan as well, they tend not to see things in the same way as everyone else. But when you get up high enough right here, this is the military complex. You'll find mostly half-elves here as we gear up for things and try to make sure that we have everything we need. We train, we spar. It's one of the most defensible positions in the entirety of the Citadel. It's also where most of our soldiers are at any point in time. It tends to be that we care about them as we care about each other, and we try to make sure everyone gets along as best we can. But up here is a very military front, and
so
that has its
the
own
highest
difficulties.
society in the military, right?
Mhm.
But do the elves up here treat half-elves like people or just an object?
There's very few elves up here. Mostly it's the councilmen and the higher up military, like my husband. They should kind of takes a moment to pause and has a deep sigh. They don't treat anyone aside from elves as, she kind of gives an air quote, human. They have very stuck mindsets, including my husband, though that was only a recent change.
Oh, when did that change?
Around the same time that our children were born. It's a very sad and somber look over her face.
I don't mean to pry. Oh, I do. I'm a bard. It's I tell stories at the end of the day, whether that's people's or others. Why did you leave Ellie with the people in the woods?
I was friends with, I believe he goes by Grandpa now. I was friends with him a
Right.
long time ago, back when we were part of the same adventuring group. Me, him, Bloodtooth, and my husband. It was a very good group that we had, and we split off after my husband decided to try gain a position inside the council. He believed that his efforts would be best served here. His military prowess, his intelligence, his general will would be best served here. And he was correct. He has served very, very well, and has gotten much higher and further than almost anyone else of his own stature. But it separated us from Bloodtooth and Grampy. And then once we found out that I was pregnant, and found out that we had twins, I realized that I didn't want our children to grow up in this kind of environment. It's a harsh one to grow up in, especially when you are a human's daughter. And so I didn't want both of our children to experience that. I didn't want our children to experience that at all. And the fact that he had children with a human also has stunted his progression. And so I wanted both of our children to go. But he thought that would be too suspicious to suddenly have his wife, who has full carried, to no longer have children. and many would have suspected that he would have done something to me. So we agreed on that. And we decided that our firstborn would stay with us, and our secondborn would go to Grampy, to a life where she could be free and happy. And I hoped, beyond hope, that she would be able to live a life that she would be happy with. I don't know if it succeeded, but I hope it did.
50-50.
He was not a great person, but he was the only one we could rely on.
Well, to be fair, she thinks of him fondly. It's 50-50 because of this.
That is good to know. I never really
Sadly.
meant to abandon her, but
I mean,
with the circumstances.
you are dead. That's a start.
Yeah.
Probably should get in contact of your own volition, though. You didn't hear this from me, but you should go visit him. Bill giving a very kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I hear things are really nice this time of year.
I'll keep that in mind, Bill.
That because, well, Rowena didn't make a request of you being safe. If you catch my drift, things may get a little hectic soon.
Yeah, she seems to have her own plans, too. I'm not sure if she agrees with her father. Doesn't seem like she does. So I'm very worried about her.
Hard to say she agrees with anyone.
Hmm?
Hard to say she agrees with anyone.
Yeah. She has her own way of life, but she is forging a path. If information is correct that I've gotten, my husband is very proud of her, for she is coming home to be his right hand, and I don't know what exactly that means. She's not someone who would easily stick by what he has plans to do.
What's he planning?
He won't tell me all the details, mostly because he believes that it would hurt me. But he's going to do something with an infection, and I don't know how many will die. It's...
Do you want the information for that? Because we have that.
No. My husband will go to many lengths to ensure that peace and prosperity is created, and I love him for it, I do. He is taking a road that is, for all intents and purposes, towards the good of the many. It's just not a road that I can travel on.
Well, I Bill kind of looks at Avram for a second, kind of trying to judge whether he should say anything more. Trying to get like a secondary opinion to some degree.
I like subtly like shrug. Just like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, crap. Well, that infection's gonna kill a lot more than what he intends.
Yeah.
He also had the person working on the cure killed.
It's definitely made his efforts a little bit more difficult. He has a couple of people working on some kind of cure.
No, he had them killed. That's what I'm telling you. Any cure he is trying to destroy.
Hmm.
He may
That's
tell
even
you
more
otherwise.
concerning.
He may tell you otherwise, but our group's been on the receiving end of him killing someone working on a cure.
That is worrying.
That's why I'm here. To see if what I'm about to do to stop the actions of the leaders of the Citadel from killing innocents is going to be good enough, I guess.
If you want my personal opinion, everyone but the council members are innocent. The council members have their own sins to pay. They have a lot of debts that they made, and they have a lot of issues that even I cannot look past. My husband has many as well, but I don't know what happened to him. He's not the same man I married. But the rest of the people in the Citadel, even the higher up elves, they are simply a product of their generations. They don't know better. They've never been taught better. They've never seen a better light. And to condemn them on the sins of their parents is, well, if you did that, then even I would be at fault. And all the military elves, half-elves, are...
Oh,
She has a very sad look to her.
no, I
They're not
understand.
not even fighting to fight.
Most of them don't even know why they're fighting. I'm very aware of that.
They're bred
I've
for
been-
war.
By the way, I have a question. Do you know what elven commander went out with the half elves and abandoned them to their fate on the trail?
Do you have any more information than that?
Bill gives the description that he could get from the story
Hmm.
that he was shown.
She would be thinking for a little bit, like really deep in thought, and she would kind of slowly nod. It sounds like one of the council members. I believe he's the fourth seat on the right. One way from the last. There's only 5 council members, so he's the fourth if you start on the left. He's, let me find out a name for him real quick. Elf name generator for, the win, yo. We're gonna go with, I'm gonna go with, Fallen, Fallen Nordai.
Nordai.
Fallen Nordai. That's the name we're going to use.
Okay. Where would he...
He's a ruthless man. He's one of those on the council that arguably has the highest body count of the orcs. He goes out to almost every war and participates usually, but never in, I would say, moral standing.
He runs away the moment it gets rough.
Pretty much. He'll backstab, he'll lie, he'll cheat, and he'll kill, but he always runs away in the end.
Yep. I am very aware of his dealings. I have a gift for that one specifically.
As I said, the sins of the council are those that even I cannot overlook.
If you get his general schedule, the dead would thank you. If you catch my meaning.
The council members don't have a schedule. They wander in and out. They wander around the area. The only times that they are fully together is when there's a war meeting. Makes so no one can target them easily.
Well, if you learn anything, let me know. There's a promise I have to keep relating to that one.
She nods to you.
Oh, and where's the... You'll have your own water supply up here from what I've heard, correct?
We do, yes. It's a water supply for all the military. That way we can separate us from the rest of the area, and if someone decides to poison the lower regions, they still can't get to our main military force.
But what about the council? Do they have their own?
Not usually.
Noted.
If we're in some form of lockdown or some danger has gotten all the way to us, then usually they'll lock themselves in with a predetermined water supply and food supply and kind of wait out.
Understood.
So there's protection for the higher regions of the Citadel, their water supply, I mean.
Yes.
Is there no protection for the lower regions?
Not beyond basic. For the lower regions, we have the basic filtering, clear out animal muck, or dead carcass bodies, or dung, or other, infectious stuff like that. Up here, we pass it through a magical sanitizer as well. Make sure the water that we have is clear of everything else. We have a lot of mages that are up here, and that's one of the daily regimens that we do. If we were to do that for down there, that would require a lot more manpower, of which the council doesn't wish to spare. She does have a hint of snide in that remark.
Well, if you know the last point, let us know. We're trying to prevent as many deaths as possible right now. Oh, and if you hear anything about a dragon in the trail, yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. He won't kill anyone. Probably.
Okay.
So if you hear something like that, and don't be surprised.
I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you for all the information, though.
You're welcome.
So it goes through magic. That means there has to be one last reservoir it has to hit then, right?
Generally, yes. We have the main pipes, which are near the edge of this area. She kind of vaguely gestures in one direction. The place is wide enough and large enough that it would probably take you guys like 30 or 40 minutes to get to the edge. And it'll filter into our water supply area. And then that one is magically sanitized, then processed into a third area. Second area. Pipes into first, sanitized, and into the second area. And then that second area is usually parts of it is siphoned into barrels, and then those barrels are put into a protective area in case this place ever gets locked down, and that's those sanitized, properly nutritious, clean water is what the council members will drink out of while they're on lockdown.
Okay. Thank you.
She nods.
I recommend storing your water for a while.
One more
Okay.
thing, if I may ask.
Mm-hmm.
You said that the council members only get together during a war meeting.
Indeed.
Is there any one of those coming up?
She kind of like takes a moment to think. You can almost see her debating on telling you. You guys are welcome roll insight if you'd like, but from what you guys can tell just by looking at her, she's legitimately debating the answer to this. Is that 1 or 19? Okay, that's 19.
Do I roll this with disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Come on.
well, natural 20 will be it anyways, based on previous rulings I have for something else. Which I don't think I ever posted in this chat, but I like it because it works. So if you get a natural 20 on disadvantage, natural 20 will succeed because it's natural 20. And if you get a natural 1 on disadvantage, or if you get a natural 1 on advantage, it will fail. So natural 20s will always succeed. Natural 1s will always fail, regardless of advantage or disadvantage, with the exception of combat.
What would happen if
I think.
what would happen if one got both?
If you got both a natural 20 and natural 1?
Yeah.
I would say it probably would equal out into a 10. Be able to get something that happens. Actually, no, I would give you both a good thing and a bad thing.
It
Yeah.
depends on the situation.
Yeah. I would give you something really good and something really bad, because that is a very impressive aspect. But anyways, so that natural 20 and that 22, you essentially would see, there's that natural 20. You would see the reason she's debating on the answer to this is less because she doesn't trust you guys, and more because she's thinking about her husband. And so...
The moment Bill realizes, oh, don't worry, Rowena also told us to make sure he's okay.
Oh.
Rowena does care about you guys a lot.
I'm
And
glad.
we don't dislike Rowena. I think. I fight with her a lot, but it's usually with good reason.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you can figure out what has caused my husband to... He hasn't quite changed. Most of this is still on brand for him, but it's more...
It's his bow, isn't it? Isn't that what Ellie said? Or Rowena? Doc? I don't remember.
His bow? He hasn't used that thing in... years.
Yeah, before Doc kind of got... yes, Bill is going with this story. He noticed that the bow was telling him to kneel and seemed to be influencing on its own.
Huh.
And that's our leading theory, given that there's to make a very, very long story short, there's weapons that basically have minds of their own that start to take over their wielders. We've met a few.
Interesting.
Quite a few of these as apocalyptic?
Apocalyptic.
A few of these apocalyptic weapons we've encountered. There's like 4 of them. There's the bow. Pretty sure that was it that coin that was one of them?
Mm-hmm.
Bloodtooth's weapon, which is an axe. Oh, and a sickle that tells you to kneel.
Bloodtooth uses an axe. I remember him using a sword from way back when.
So that one definitely has abilities then. We can confirm that, yeah?
Yeah.
At this point. Because that was an axe.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Never really thought of him being an axe person. He's always been very adamant about swords. Just want to think for a second. Okay, that's no 13. Cool. Just want to think for a second. Just kind of go. Are you sure that the sword is Bloodtooth's?
We saw him with it in the middle of his people, and he pretty sure he would have used it to kill us if it wasn't for his wife.
Huh. There was an orc that had a sword. What does sword look like? It's just a regular sword. Was it green?
No, he didn't have a sword with him.
Oh.
He had an axe.
Do you know what the sword originally looked like?
That's an Ellie question.
Aberrin, roll history with disadvantage.
Wait, me?
No, Aberrin.
Oh, okay. I was like, I know this.
You do not remember what Ellie told you. Bill, you have impeccable memory, but I don't know if Ellie ever actually told you what the sword looks like.
I mean, I'll roll a history.
I feel like Ellie or Oliver would have told him.
That work.
True. Good sending stone me.
You could sending stone or two. Yeah.
Just the casual. Bill's gonna sit there like blankly stare at her and just casually reach into his bag, pull it out. Ellie!
Are you calling her or are you
He's calling, and that's just the first word is Ellie. Hey. Hey.
Also, Ellie, only the coin has been proven to change. So actually opposite that sentence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Ellie, you just, while you're probably helping the doc with something very careful that you probably shouldn't shake, you just get a random Ellie shouting from your back.
Fucking fuck, that better be Bill. Yes?
What'd the sword
What?
look like again?
Oh, okay. It was a blood-stained, I think it was a great sword. It was crimson rust red or whatever it was. It's because it was used in so many battles of war and such that the blood kind of soaked into it. At least
Oh,
that's
you're
what
talking about his son's
Mom said.
sword.
Well,
You hear your mother on the other end.
hi, Mom.
Oh, hi, Ellie, dear.
Hope you're doing okay. I hope you visit Mercy soon.
I'm doing okay. I was actually thinking of going and visiting, I believe you called him Grandpa now?
Yes,
Yes.
that'd be great.
But
Tell
yes,
him I said hi. I haven't been able to see him.
I will. But yes, the sword that you're talking about, the Crimson Blood one, that's his son's sword.
Last we were told it was Big Mama told us that it was her husband's sword, but he must have passed it down because they did say that the son is meant to take over.
I unfortunately don't know much about their family dynamics. But I do know that they usually pass their weapons as a either a right of honor or when they're taken. Usually, this is to show a symbol of strength more than anything else. So if he does have that sword, it was probably not willingly given to him unless Bloodtooth gave it to him. And yes, son's sword. So he gave him. The son of Bloodtooth has the blood weapon. Yeah.
But didn't Bloodtooth have an axe that matches a similar description?
Oh, most of the weapons of the orcs are. Well, bloody is the only word that can really be used to describe them. They tend not to be cleaned. In the orcs' rather brutish description, it's the dirtier your blade is, the worse their wounds will be. She kind of grimaces at that thought. She shakes her head.
Understood. Okay, that makes sense. Thanks,
But
Ellie.
if you're looking for that weapon, it would probably be in the hands of his son, unless someone took it from him.
Gotcha. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on.
Well, that's greatly concerning.
Yeah.
Though now I think about it, she kind of like pauses in thought for a second. He has been taking the bow a lot more lately. Ever since last time you were here, actually, Bill. He's pretty much not had it off his person.
Wonder if he can sense that the sickle's around more.
I don't know.
Maybe not consciously, but maybe subconsciously.
Well, if that has truly changed my husband from the man I married, then I would greatly appreciate it if you could remove it.
Yeah, it's kind of the plan.
I would like to see him again.
All right. Well, I think I've got my plan figured out.
Well, best of luck. I think
it
I will
involve
arrange
swimming?
a a walk. What'd you say, Ellie?
Oh, that was me. It was
Oh.
just like, I think I've got my plan figured out. It's like, does it involve stealing?
Sneaking, possibly knocking someone out, depending on how it happens.
Hmm.
And
Sounds exhilarating.
given we're not really trying to hurt anyone, we're just trying to make it to where people are not going anywhere. Yeah. And I've already told like the one person who's I think would listen and wouldn't stop us that hey, don't drink the water because we're gonna obviously be doing some fun stuff.
Mhm.
And warn them that we're not killing anyone.
Mm.
I think. Anyway, you want to go check out that place we're going so we can, well, stealthily, of course, go see what's it called? How easy it'll be for us to get through this,
Mhm.
get this done.
Mhm.
Oh, we also should probably like steal someone's keys to the area.
She just reaches into her coat pocket and slowly reaches out some keys to you.
Thank you.
Mama is best.
Being the second in command has a lot of perks. One of them is that no one asks any questions if you don't have your keys.
That's fair.
Oh.
Yeah,
Best of luck to you, Bill.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to set up my travels. I should be out by the end of the day or two. I doubt my husband will notice.
Will do.
She just kind of walks away.
You want to go steal some weapons?
Of course.
As Bill
Jesus
just starts
Christ.
wandering off, just with a pep in his step. No, he still has Ellie on call. He didn't hang up. He forgot to hang up. So Ginger Tears, you want to go steal some weapons?
Fuck me sideways.
Oops, forgot to hang up the call. You didn't hear anything?
Nope, I did not.
You hear Jackson
Might drink
from
on
the
your
other
tab.
room just kind of call out, "No, not right now." Just like passing by the door. That's the last thing Bill hears before he hangs up.
This is fine.
This is fun. So I'm assuming you're going to like the armory, basically.
Yeah, just gonna sneak in.
Fair. Both of you guys have bags of holding, so both of you guys roll me stealth. Averin with straight stealth because of your boots. That's exactly what I was expecting. You guys are very stealthy, very good at what you do, and you guys just start collecting weapons. There are a lot of weapons. So you guys gonna be there for a little while. And I think that is a really good moment for us to end this, mostly because I'm also starting to get a headache out of my left eye, so I need more water. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, feel free to hit that follow button. If you guys have not already, go check out some of our other series, such as our Vods of Valhalla, or Tables of Tartarus, where all these TTRPG Vods are sent to. We're going to be doing a finale sort of episode next week because we're going to be doing a very large hiatus because I'm going to be moving here soon. We're also going to be changing around a lot of other things on the channel, including the primary schedule, so feel free to join our Discord if you guys want to check that stuff out and get all the update information that you can. We're going to be posting in the announcements here soon all the kind of new things and changes that we're going to be pushing probably next week, probably after shifting. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see all of you fine folks on the next episode. Have a good night. Bye.
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 Bye.